Hello everyone, welcome back to tapaScript Lab. This is Tapas and today we are getting started with yet another episode from the season 2. tapaScript Lab is a podcast where you not only learn about things from the technology side but also from the various other soft skill, life and different kind of perspectives. Each of the guests who come to this podcast give their valuable time. Make sure that you learn at least something from them which can contribute very positively in your life. My today's guest is one such person as well. He is an IIT Kanpur grad, a techie, a founder, a dreamer, a visionary, and an artist. He has been soul searching in the hills of Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh, India since last 12 years. And interestingly, also co-founded Himachal's first community hostel. He liked to walk the path that resonates with his heart and mind, with a mission to keep smiling and spread the smile as well. Currently at Godspeed, he is looking to build a community of founders and techies who will together shape a better future for the world. Without any further delay, let me introduce my today's guest, Ayush Ghai. It's an honor to be in the chat with the person, and I'm very much sure that it is going to be a life changing moment for you as well if you stay with us in this podcast from the beginning till the end. Let's get started. So, we have my friend, and I think someday will be my philosopher and guide as well, Mr. Ayush Ghai. And sir, before we proceed with a lot of discussions today, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right. Thank you, Tapas, for inviting me. I'm so happy to be with you here, and I look forward to our discussion also. So, a little bit about me. So, I'm Ayush, born in Patna, Bihar, and my father was in a bank, so lived all across India. Grew up in 12 different places, and right now I live in Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh, and it's been the longest stay I've ever had at any place. It's been 12 years I've been here. And I studied computer science engineering from IIT Kanpur. That was really my passion since my school days to get into IIT, and somehow I was able to crack it. And after that, I was in Oracle as a software engineer for quite a while, for 2 years. Then went to iXiGo as the third engineer, and recently I was invited to the IPO of the company as well, where they even shared a story including us from 2008, where how I also played a pivotal role in helping iXiGo survive the 2008 crash in the market,
Hmm.
and then building some stuff out there, revamping the whole engine. So after two jobs, I just knew that, I somehow felt that everybody is going in kind of a prescription by the society in a blind way. And I've been a person who really likes to question. So I just questioned, is this the path for me also? That whatever has been prescribed by my parents, by my family, by the general society, and one of the things I knew is that at least I'm not made for a regular job.
Hmm.
I can't sit in a desk and work in a job. So, okay, I will have my own startup one day. And that's my path to freedom. And so I decided that, and then 2009, 10 onwards, I had my own startup. We built a movie recommendation engine called Metataste. That was our first product. Couldn't really sell it, though it was an amazing innovation. Still there's nothing like it, but could monetize, shut it down. Though I regret doing that. I feel founders should never close their baby if they really believe in it's really good. Somehow make it survive. But nonetheless, and then 2011, around the same time Meta Taste was happening, my questions became very big about life purpose. What will satisfy me in my life? Okay, I will make enough money. I will have respect in society for the profession I have. What's more, there more to life, because that doesn't seem to satisfy me. So I've been a very curious person that way, and it just felt, I need to get answer to bigger questions in life. And somehow some seniors from my college, just dropped in an email asking how you doing. I told them I'm going through this big questions. 2011, this happened. Who am I? What is existence? What is meaning of life? What is God? All of this. So they said, we are also on same journey. Why don't you join? And they brought me to Dharamshala for a visit. And then, 2, 3 visits later, I'm just sitting by a river in Dharamshala, and I just feel a oneness with the river out there, and the first time in my life I experienced it, and I just knew I belong here. This is where I'll find answers to my questions. So hence here I am, still in Dharamshala, and I'm still doing own startup. And, as a techie, I've always, loved, building reusable frameworks, even from MetaTaste days, even iXiGo days.
Hmm.
always make something reusable, generic, so that you solve a problem once and then configure different variations of the solution from there on. So we made this microservices framework, now coming out with an AI driven studio to build those applications very fast also. So yeah, that's one journey going on. Along with it, my own personal journey of self exploration led me to, these asking these big questions. When I started feeling oneness inside me more and more. So one day sitting in meditation, the big question came to me, an inspiration
Mm.
is that I'm feeling so good and there can be no greater feeling than this. What if every person in the world could feel what I'm feeling and experience this? So that became like the driving question of my life. And everything I do today is to serve this cause. Even Godspeed, my startup, is so that we can, create a community around startups, founders, technologists, and generate wealth to serve this cause only. So that how can humanity progress towards greater consciousness and well-being on the planet? So, and I do little experiments in my village where I live. I was teaching children, running a homeschooling also. When I was on sabbatical, I also took a sabbatical for a couple of years. So I still run this project of Swaraj with the local village people where I live. We are just doing small experiments to make a sustainable village. And then I work with founders also, love to interact with founders like you who are really, who are applying their creative energy into make something good for the world and serve the society in different ways. So yeah, that's a bit about me. And yeah, I love music, I love art and all of those things. I'm quite adventurous also.
Yeah, thanks for I've been giving your background to us. Even I didn't know a lot of it, though I'm connected to you. I think on different forums. And first time I saw you in a FOSS meetup in Bangalore. That's when I saw you as a speaker. I was also a co-speaker in the same meetup. And
Hmm.
what actually inspired me over there is like you were throwing a lot of lights on a subject that people won't speak about it often, like open source sustainability, the monetization, how things will survive. People will only talk about the good side of it, but there is a dark side of it, and it's been ignored over the years. I mean, as an open source maintainer for a long time, before even I started my own business or startup, whatever you say, I felt that hate. It's like people use it, but nobody really coming up to help you out. And then after hearing from you, I feel okay, someone is echoing the same thing. So this is the person that I should connect to and see like how things goes from here. So that was a connection establishment in the beginning. So great,
Hmm.
and I'm really really feel lucky that I'm in your circle. I hope, and then having that kind of connections going on. So one thing that struck me when you were actually giving this introduction, you told that you started getting the questions right in your mind, like, "Am I doing the right thing?" or what I am doing. And you also mentioned like some of your seniors are also were feeling the same. So it is probably not the one of thing that some individual only can feel. It is probably as a human, all of us can feel. So my question is like how it occurs. I mean, is it like we are too busy so why we don't get the time to think such things, or it will occur to us someday? How does it occur?
So the answer is twofold. One answer is at a very human level, which something we could probably try to arrange. And the other answer is the real answer. So I'll give you the first answer first,
Sure.
is that, if we could have an environment around us where more people are thinking like this and have company of such people,
Mm,
so then it will occur to us faster in our life, even at a younger age when we are children, when we go to school. If our parents talk about this, for example, if our school teachers talk about it, in college we talk about it, in news or TV, this discussion is important. Like, right, even podcasts like you are conducting, we talk about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? Founders talk about it, then their employees will notice. So hence, I feel if we can have a social environment where this is an important topic for people and discuss, then everybody will start asking questions earlier. And it's part of culture that we
Mm,
can bring in our society. And second thing is that the real answer I feel is a grace of God. I don't know if you believe in God or not. I don't know about audience. The word is questionable. So the word is not important. I'll say the universe we live in. There's an existence, there's a space, and there is nature all of this combined is what I'm calling existence. We can call it God or whatever name we give. It's a formless existence that we're talking
Mm.
about. So this universe itself sort of gifts us these questions, I feel, and it can come to anyone anytime by grace.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, people who are listening to us, maybe some of them are already trying to answer that question or it is coming to them, I'm sure. For some of others, maybe like me, who are probably still not there yet to face that question, I'm sure that soon it will be. It's a good thing to have. Why I'm actually getting more into it is like, uh, I shared with you that I believe on the purpose. Like anything that I do, first thing that why am I doing this? I mean, what is the purpose of doing this? Where exactly it is going? If I'm teaching on YouTube or I'm talking to you, I'm having my own startup, everything should have some kind of purpose. Now, some point in time in life, even it happened with me also, it could be some kind of personal thing you happen to you, or things are not going well, or things are going too well. Then you sometimes feel like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, I'm kind of clueless. I'm keep learning JavaScript, but I don't know why I'm learning JavaScript. I'm because somebody probably told me I'm doing it, but I don't know the real reason why I'm doing it. And
Mhm.
what I'm chasing, I don't know. It's a purposeless life, purposeless career. So, is there a way that maybe from the developer point of view, I'm just bringing in, because most of the folks who will be listening to us or watching it will be developers. Is
Uh-huh.
like how to bring that purpose in the work that we want to do, we intend to do, so that we know like where exactly it is going, my effort, where exactly it is going.
And Tapas, the big question there would be that is it a purpose that we define for ourselves, or is there a purpose given to us by nature,
Ah,
just by being human?
okay.
So that's a question worth exploring for everybody. And what I will share is just my views and proposals for everybody to
Sure.
think on. So I feel that nature has given us one common intrinsic purpose to all human beings. Okay. And then there can be individualized purposes, which is secondary causes serving that larger purpose.
Hmm.
You see, there's a common larger purpose by birth we have, is my proposal.
Hmm.
And then we all choose our paths to serve that. Somebody may choose to be a social servant. They may start a social startup. Somebody may want to become a developer to develop great products which society can use,
Hmm.
right? Somebody may become a teacher.
Hmm.
So that's the way to fulfill a common purpose is my proposal.
Hmm.
So we can now explore, what is the common purpose that drives every human being. And I feel that that is like the foundation, because if at all there is such a purpose, if at all,
Hmm.
and if we are able to identify it in our life, then we found the anchor for all our life's decisions and how to navigate.
People, especially the folks that who are not very much aware on the purpose, like why they are exactly doing something, maybe after some point in time, after traveling some distance, they are completely lost because they don't know why they got started, either it's
Hmm.
personal life or their development journey or whatever it is. Now there is a possibility that this they are going to face the failure. Maybe they'll fail. So how to kind of come back and start again? Because this is a very common question I get from folks that I interact with, that once I'm lost means is lost. I don't know why I started this. It could be a company, it could be a course, it could be anything, and I'm lost. I don't know how to kind of I started back. Do you have any suggestion there?
Matlab, did you ask two questions to me? One is a sense of fulfillment that they don't feel fulfilled after going
Yes,
on that journey.
yes.
It could be a personal or a professional
Personal journey,
choice that they
yes.
take.
Or they don't know
And
like
sec
why they actually started. I mean, could that be a reason, right? They are not sure like why they started on this journey. It could be dictated by somebody. It could be somebody told like, if you do this, it will be great. Or have seen a
Correct.
friend doing it and that person started doing this, right? That could
Hmm.
be various reason like why exactly this happened.
There could be so many reasons on the why it happened, but in the end, the what or the outcome is that they didn't feel fulfilled.
Correct.
So, in the end, if we think that whatever we are doing for fulfillment, that's the ultimate why. It should fill me, it should make me feel satisfied,
Hmm.
and on a continued basis. It can't be that I feel satisfied for one day and second day I'm not satisfied. So that's what, firstly, we have to recognize what happened. So what happened is they didn't feel fulfilled and satisfied with the decision. So again, whatever is their deeper and intrinsic purpose is not getting fulfilled. by their life path they chose. That's what is happening if we see. And now the reasons you're right could be many, but if we look at the basic common pattern of all the reasons, right? So whatever reason they started from was not a reason aligned with the core purpose of their existence. So maybe, for example, it was my friends recommended me, or my friends are doing this, so I should also do this, right? So then my reason for decision is not inside me, it is outside me. My reference point for making my life's choices, the anchor of my life is not inside me, it's outside. And hence I'm not an independent and free person anymore, even though I may believe I am, but I am not, right? So therein, that's a big problem. We often live life by faith, and faith can be blind faith also. We think that faith is only in temples or churches or mosques or in books or in gurus or saints. But faith is also in prescription by the society, which we get from class one in our school. And then we have faith, when we graduate from colleges, all our friends are following that same prescription. So we have faith in the prescription that, hey, get a job, make money, your life will be sorted. This is it. This is all we see to life, right? From college, get a job, make money. And then next step, get married, get children. Now maybe that is changing. Now everybody doesn't want marriage anymore. Right? But we are simply following footsteps all around us, what we see. So where is our independent thinking in this and evaluation of what will really fulfill me? That's important. So to all of them, I will say it's actually great that you are in a position where you feel not satisfied. It's a blessing in a way to be in such a place, because in life, when we are in distress, then only we can ask big questions of life. When everything is going good in life, who asks the big questions,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
That's true.
So when we are in big pain, then we remember, we ask, who am I? What do I want? Why am I even here? Right? So I think it's a blessing to fail in life. It's a great thing. And we should take this opportunity, take a break. And nobody needs to be in a hurry to get anywhere, really. Because an empty mind can let the real good answers come to us. When our mind is already rushing and full of so many subjects and objects to think about, where is the space for real deeper consciousness to come with answers of what my subconscious wants? And often, many decisions we make in life, whether we follow a friend's advice or we get into a love relationship very hurried up, very fast decisions to get married, maybe, or things like those, it is often because we are following a very deep, unconscious or subconscious desire of happiness. And we believe that this will give us lasting happiness. So it's only that, okay, maybe, and maybe it's not even fault of that person or the relationship that we couldn't find lasting happiness. Because again, if we look for lasting happiness in our startup, in our wife, in our children, then maybe again, we are putting our happiness outside in the world, that our happiness depends on other objects in the world,
Yeah,
events in the world,
correct.
right? Then I'm again a slave. My happiness, I'll blame Tapas. We become co-founder tomorrow. Our startup doesn't take off. I'll blame you for my misery. That Tapas, because of you, I am suffering today. No, no, no. I believe that all our suffering that we have, and if we are feeling bad in life, feeling wise, I'm saying, no matter our startup may fail, our job may not be very good, it's fine. But if I'm feeling miserable or very happy, it's my choice. That's my proposal. We choose how we feel in our life. So to everybody who's failed, I'll say firstly, like Amir Khan says in Three Idiots, no, all is well. Remind us, it's all is well, all is fine in life. I really believe that is true.
And it is okay to
And
fail, right? I mean, that is also another perspective, right? If I'm starting everything with a notion like, what if I fail? There is a big disaster will happen, or I should not fail. I mean, it's okay to know that you will fail. You should not be scared of it, like that thought that you will be failing. It's okay to fail, right? In your opinion?
I believe it's great. It's one of the greatest things to fail, because failures, and also I would, okay, I'll come to this later a bit, maybe more in detail. I will not say I failed. I'll say my experiment failed, my effort failed. I am not a failure. It's very important. The words we choose, how we think, and what we speak are very important because we are training our GPT with all these statements. Right? I failed and even I succeeded. It's feeding our ego in negative way, like it's either very destructive or making us very arrogant maybe. Also, some people who succeed, have big success in life, they become arrogant also, right? Because I succeeded. It's I. So that's one decoupling we should do, right? I think we should first know who am I, what am I, and then we will know who failed. Okay. Now the second thing is even let's say our anything fails, we fail in a startup, in a job, in a marriage, whatever happened. I think it's a great thing because it teaches us so much, right? Every time we fail, we have our lessons to take from the failure, right? And I feel that is related to core purpose of our existence, learning. Knowledge. I believe that gaining knowledge is a part of our core purpose. Human being is designed to be in pursuit of gaining knowledge and the kind of knowledge which makes us happy and fulfilled. That kind of knowledge. So failures give us those kind of knowledges, right? We learn that, okay, I cannot be fulfilled this way. I need something else. Or, we get more skilled also in going about and living our life and doing things. I have failed a lot in my life. I have failed really a lot. And I,
Uh,
uh,
how about the then sadness and the sorrow related to it? I mean, when you say it's okay to fail, I also believe like the experience that we gain from the failures. I have failed in a lot of places. I failed yesterday. I got rejected by someone or something. I failed just.
mhm,
So I
mhm.
mean, but you feel that vacuum, that sadness, that
Yes.
sorrow out of that failure, and depending on what kind of failure is, the
Mm,
amount of sadness and sorrow will be there
mm,
with you for a longer time. I mean,
yes.
how do you deal with that? What is the positivity in that?
Yeah. Firstly, I'm not in your position. I will never be tapas, so I can never exactly feel your sadness and sorrow, but I can try to empathize with you and just based on my experiences. And we have being human something in common, right? So many things. So the nature of sadness and sorrow, like even it was Buddha's quest, right? He saw that there is so much pain in human life,
Yes.
including rejection, for example, which you quoted. So, again, his main thing was that then why live, how to deal with it. And later, what answer came to him and has been there in all sacred texts from all across the world is one common answer is that, like Amir Khan says, no, all is well. That's the first thing, again, I could actually approach this answer from so many different facets. Okay.
Mhm.
But my best way, if you were to ask me, how do I deal with it,
Yeah.
is first, right? So I will say that we have to simply observe it and let it be,
Mm.
to not fight with it, to watch it. Okay, I am suffering right now. Just see it and not judge it. No judgment. It doesn't, and even check our thoughts. What thoughts are following this? So, for example, I got rejected. If you look at our mind, no, it makes a chain of thoughts, one after the other. First thought, I got rejected. Second thought, I'm not good enough,
Yeah.
for example, right?
Yeah.
Then there'll be a third thought, because of this, because of maybe my parents, yeah, because of this thing, right? So chain, 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 and every such thought gives us more misery. So it's like with every thought, we take a bucket of sadness and misery and pour it inside
Mm.
us every time.
Mm.
And this happens in milliseconds and microseconds in our mind, right? So what I have applied in my life is to observe. And I promised myself one thing is that I will not react to such thoughts. I will simply watch them. Like if we look at the waves in an ocean, right?
Mm.
Waves come and go. But we do not think about an individual wave. It was a good wave, bad wave.
Right.
Same way, let a wave come in our body, we know it will go, or in our mind, right? The suffering will go. It may take 5 minutes, it may take 5 days or 5 years, right? But it will go. It will not last forever. So with this, second, I will choose only to feed those thoughts which empower me. If this does not empower me, I will not react to it. I will just watch it, let it go. So that's what I chose to do. And then, Tapas, the beautiful thing that happens is first the pain of rejection would last probably 5 weeks. Okay, for some times in life of even 1 year, 2 years, at times it has happened with me. Then it starts reducing. It will come down to few weeks. And then now maybe a few minutes, all right, of feeling a slight discomfort. Now it's not even a suffering, it's a discomfort. It's, it's discomfort is more comfortable than
Yeah.
suffering. So, right, because things change and magic will happen in our life. We don't need big intellectual analysis of this, but just by watching things and separating ourselves as the watcher. That, for example, we say, I am sad. Or when I'm the watcher, I say, I'm experiencing sadness. This is sadness. This is me. I am experiencing sadness. Next moment, it will come to happiness. I am experiencing happiness, but I am neither this nor that. I am this. So,
That decoupling is really important.
exactly, exactly. That's where we find ourselves when we decouple.
My-
With kids, no, I've worked tapas, it works beautifully even with children, much more faster than adults. I have been with children, right, in my homeschooling, in my family, friends. So when a child falls, they start to cry. We human beings are like this. So for them, it's like I got hurt here, so I'm crying, right? Pain is happening. Our pain is different. I got rejected by somebody I really like. This woman rejected me. It happens. Keeps happening, right? So then, or investor I really like rejected me. So investor is like a woman in some way. Brings the Lakshmi, correct? So then, so then to children, I would go and ask when they are crying, no, that beta, are you in the pain? Are you the pain? Or are you different from pain and you can see the pain? Okay. Are you one with the pain? Are you and pain one thing? Or are you inside the pain? Okay. Or are you decoupled or different from the pain and you are experiencing the pain? Then all children, and this is 100% success, and I propose you to try with children around you, it works. They immediately stop crying. If it's a small pain, if it's something big, that's a different story. And it's amazing because they immediately start to think, I've seen it, and they stop crying. One of them, he fell down. He had a santra in his hand. I had given him an orange, one of my kids. And then I hear he's crying and everybody's around him. I go out, I see some scooter hit him on the road. Okay. He fell down, it hit him here, but he still had the orange in his other hand. Half sucked, half eaten orange. It was a very cute sight for me. Then he was crying and I asked him the same question, right? There were 20 students and his father also around. And then they didn't know what to do about it. But when I asked him, he thought, he stopped and he started sucking the orange again. And everyone was happy.
Cool. Coming back to your startup, the one that you are right now with. Tell us a little bit more about it, like what kind of work you're doing, or even before that, like how it was formed. I mean, how that idea of it came in, what kind of work you are doing, and where exactly it's leading to.
That's such an amazing question. It's such a core theme of purpose in our conversation today. So, what's the purpose of this startup, no? Godspeed
Right.
Systems. Why did it come into existence? So, I was on a sabbatical. I had been through a tough journey in my life. I had been through a divorce myself. In 2019, I got separated from my ex-wife. It was 19, okay? 19 winters. And after that, we are on a good term as friends, but we got separated. It was very tough, as you can imagine, right? In India, especially when we get married, we think of life
Yeah.
together, but somehow it didn't work out. So I was going through that, but 2018 onwards, I was on a sabbatical. Almost 17, it started. I had one tech project I was doing for Dalai Lama's office, making their digital archive.
Mm.
And therein, I was writing some framework again to solve their problem. That is one thing I was doing. And even though it was not paying really much, but somehow just I had some savings, I was living with it. It was more like a volunteer job those days.
Mm.
So I was on a sabbatical, more on my inner journey, on meditation, and with this big question on purpose and everything. And then this divorce happened. I went through very tough time. Then I started spending time with children also. Then, as well, I just felt during that phase in life that for myself alone, I don't need money to survive. An ant lives in this world, a bird lives, they don't have money.
Mm.
So I just, something happened in my mind, I can live without money. As in, I don't need to do professional work for money. I will just help people and the world will take care of me. So somehow it was happening beautifully for almost 2 years. And those days I was doing this big question, like I told you, how humanity can reach to that beautiful heaven-like existence on earth, this ideal dream that I have, utopian dream as they call it. So I was living for that as my main project or startup in that moment, and just trying experiments in the village with the local community, doing cottage industry, making organic products, education for children on one side. I was doing online podcasts also during that time on these topics. For 1.5 years, I was regular almost every day. But when doing all these projects, I felt that the people in the village where I am, they don't have the vision that I have. Okay. In Maslow's hierarchy, they are still somewhere below, at least in their perception. Though I feel they are very well to do, but they don't feel it. Okay. Then second is, so yeah, the lack of leadership was one. Okay, except for one or two people. So I felt very alone in that project. Second, I was getting donations from my friends to do small things. They would fund things. Okay. Now, what I felt is that, okay, right now I felt too burdened and it's too much for me. And Ayush cannot pull this off. He's definitely not capable. We are thinking of the world here, right? Even one village, it's 1,700 people in this large village, right? So one person cannot make any change. Clear. So hence, what let me just focus on what I need is, if this has to happen, I ask the universe, if you also want this project to happen, right? You help me get a team for that, right? Help get at least 11 good people who are as much committed as I am. That was the number that came to me. Secondly, also any wealth that is needed to make that money. Instead of asking donations, I could earn the money myself by doing professional work. Even a job would give me more than I used to get in donations. So I decided, okay, in meantime, while I stop and pause this work in village actively, I will simply work on getting back in tech. And my vision was that, okay, again, Godspeed, the very genesis of Godspeed was aligned with the larger idea, which is called Life Maker. There's a website, lifemaker.us, US. We can go check my blog. So what I thought, okay, need a team, need wealth. I'm a techie, I'm an entrepreneur. Let me start with this community. So I'll make reusable tools like the one I had already made for the Dalai Lama's office. It's called Elastic Graph. It's a relationship-based ORM around Elasticsearch. Okay, so it has bunch of things around Elasticsearch in Node.js. So let me start building a microservice framework around this using one data source. Basically, my idea was always that, okay, I'll run instead of a job. I knew I'll never go back to a job. I'll start a venture again. We'll do IT services and we'll make our reusable tools. I'm pretty sure even you think like
Yeah.
when you're running your services, right? So that was my idea. Second, I will also facilitate building a community of self-help group like community where everybody will help each other. Students will come to learn, mentors will teach. We will together pick, professional projects. There'll be bunch of startups collaborating, people collaborating, and as a collective towards a cause that let us all grow together. We will work together and serve the world. Okay, that was and Godspeed will make tools and also allow community to bring their tools onto a shared marketplace. So that was my idea, and that's why Godspeed started. So today, where we are is we are going through a pivot at the moment. 2025, we are coming with an expanded view. So till 24, we were providing technology, basically, let's say microservice framework. This was our first product, and other infrastructure tools to make backends faster, smarter, cheaper. That was the idea. And we are expanding that further, of course, in tech and AI. We are also adding deployment on any cloud and in partnership with another startup called Kubenest. They have a very wonderful product around Kubernetes. You can check it out, Kubenest. And so it's an operator for Kubernetes they've made, and you can deploy it on any cloud, even K3s. So very small environments, lightweight clusters can also be made with Build Piper. Also, another company, Opstree, has another IDP called Build Piper. So we're partnering with these companies and even adding deployment on any cloud and also adding a UI based studio with AI features to help you create a microservice, even debug your errors. code review of your projects. So this is one offering that we had is tech and AI infra. Okay. Second is what we are adding to make a holistic offering is, I personally feel given the person I am, given my life journey, my network, I feel the universe wants me to also collaborate with more people, which was my original thought also, being part of a
Yeah.
community to grow together. So therein, the real pivot we are having, and this was my vision since day one, but we never brought it to the front. Now we're bringing to the front is that we are a growth engine for startups. Okay, a platform for helping startups to grow. So startups join the platform and we all help each other like every startup founder, right? It's for founders. We it's not just technology and building a product, that's like maybe 25% of our problems or challenges. There is a big 75%. What about that? What's my MVP? How do I go for PMF? How do I go to market? What's my positioning? How do I get funding? How do I prepare deck for my investors? And then there is so much stress that comes in founders' life. How do I handle that stress inside? How do I handle failures, rejections, things like these? It's such an alone journey for a founder.
Right.
So, right? So, who will solve these problems for founders? There is nobody, really, if we see. It's all scattered. There's no one. There's consulting companies like Gartner, McKinsey, but they are all for enterprise and they'll solve your business problems again. But this is very personal journey of founders. And we want in today's time founders who are aware founders, conscious founders, purpose-driven founders, and who are here to serve the society and really want to serve the world, right? They want their employees to be truly happy.
Yeah.
They want really to really add value to their customers. They're not doing it just that I can become a millionaire or a billionaire one day. It's very much feeling driven founders. So then Godspeed is going to be growth engine for them. We want to solve these 360-degree problem for the founders. And of course, Godspeed is not doing it. We are simply going to be a meeting place for community. So this platform will allow founders like you, me, others to come together, offer our services as a firm, company, or as individuals. And we can offer pro bono also. Like I can, of course, take out 2, 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week to meet other founders, help them whatever way I can. And then there can be professional, services as well that we can provide. So in all these areas that we discuss that a founder needs help, we come together and we help each other pro bono and also professionally. So founders can only also get their product developed, their business developed, they go to market, raise funding. We also bring in investors into the ecosystem. All right. All a network together, trust-based network, basically. And so we help build our product and then we also make our offering on the platform. Hey, I offer my product. And if it's offered on Godspeed, everyone gets a 5% or a 10% discount. So we even get business leads for our project when we get listed there. So this is the holistic thing that helps startups grow at next pace and solve all their problems together. So tech and AI is one piece to build your product, but also everything else around it.
So this is already on, or this is something that you are pivoting to right now? It will be launched soon.
This is already so yeah. So March itself I'm going out. So right now our website will be revamped. Our tech is getting made, and we are going to step out to founders in from March on, and bootstrap founders. Early stage founders is what we are looking for.
Cool.
Very early till seed stage mostly. That's our full target audience. We come together, all of us.
Yeah. Hopefully,
So
hopefully collaborate somewhere. So
yes, we should.
I'm an early stage founder, so yeah, definitely.
Yes, we'll get in touch for that.
One question that come in my mind because this is something that I am also trying to figure out and try to settle on. So when you, as a founder, you have a responsibility not only making your organization successful because you have that vision, but also to make people successful who are pushing your organization forward. Because without people, you are nothing, your organization is nothing. That's my belief. Now, how do you make sure that whatever your ethical thinking, whatever your thought process, your purposes, that's getting in to the people that you are working with? It's something that consciously come. Is it your hiring process or how do you build it?
Yeah, so amazing. This such a big question, $1 million question, right?
I don't know if I'm doing the best.
Could you even to your question add some more specific details? For example, this.
Yeah, so I'll probably get something from the discussion that we are actually talking about. So probably somewhere we connect is giving back to the society, giving back to
Hmm.
the bigger community. You are trying in various different ways. I am trying in various different ways, either through education, free content, not charging for anything, for a good and valuable education. Now let's say you are taking this to a little bigger stage at the company level. Now your philosophy is to do for society. Okay, we want to do for society as a founder. Now there might be another co-founder or could be an employee is not really aligning to your thought process. Or
Hmm.
is it like something you think, well before that, well in advance, like, I'm going to work with only those people who are going to kind of align to my thought process, my purpose and all. How do you make sure of that, equilibrium
Yes.
actually?
Yes, yes, yes. I feel, the work starts before we meet these people. First, we have to know ourselves very clearly that, what is my essence? What do I resonate with in my essential form? What's tapas all about, this journey? And there are various tools that actually humanity has come out with. If we check those tools like human design, are you aware of human design?
No, can you just explain that?
Please check out human design. It's a 5-minute thing online. If you go put your birth date time, it will come out. It's a framework. Okay. It will tell you about yourself and it will give you lots of things to reflect upon. And so far, remarkably, I've found like at least 90-95% people always resonate with their design.
Wow.
And it comes with very specific details. Let's say, for example, what's there are four kinds of human beings broadly on earth, okay, as per this framework. There are many other frameworks, all are valid or invalid in their own ways. This is a very valid and I found it good. Four main kinds of humans, for example, there's one kind who are generators. They just like a generator, they're full of energy, always want to work, 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 right? Then second are projectors. Projectors natural guides. So projectors, they are not very social people like generators. Okay, projectors are guides who can guide generators. They can help generators reflect and learn about themselves and improve their strategy. Okay, so on there is manifestors and reflectors also. Manifestors are natural leaders. Whenever there are manifestors, there are 7 to 8% people in the world who are manifestors. They can initiate things in communities and group of people. They're in a startup, in a team also. These kind of people, they don't have to ask permission. They just have to inform, hey, I'm about to do this.
Mhm.
And it's generally good for people if they follow it. Then there are reflectors also. If there are reflectors in a startup, which is 1% of population in the world, 1 out of 100 people. So if they are feeling good and happy in your team, means your team is doing good. It's a healthy culture in organization or in a community also or in a family, wherever reflectors are there, because they take everybody's energy and they reflect them.
So,
Okay. So this beautiful framework, and then they go further. Everyone, apart from these four main abstractions, even another thing, even these four main abstractions, the strategies is different. Like a generator, he should not initiate things ideally. He should respond to situations.
mhm.
He should respond to invitations, to situations. That's a generator strategy. It generally gives them the best outcome. Manifestor strategy is to initiate and inform others, I am doing this, so on and so forth. Now, further, if we go down, it even tells you what are your gifts you are born with. Everyone is born with certain gifts. So you can relate, right? What kind of gifts you bring to the world. Every person can know and how these are the strengths that they give to the world. Okay. And then there's also a purpose. Why did you incarnate on earth? They also come out with that. So it's very interesting. And you can try tapas after this. We can try your profile. I would love after this session. Let's do it. Okay. So yeah, this is one such framework. So, but coming back to the original thing, whether human design or some other framework, but in the end, or meditation or philosophy, we have to know ourselves, right? And see that one is common thing being humans, we all have common. That we have to know. What is that? Then everyone is a variation also. We have to know the variation as well as founders, right? So now let's say your variation wants to serve the world, and that's your main inspiration. So from day one, even when you marry, you find a woman, you find a co-founder, which is also a marriage. You find an investor, which is also a marriage, right? And then you bring your core team in the startup, also a marriage. So then we have to really be truthful to our inner voice there, what it tells us. our essence. We have to communicate on day zero. Hey, I'm like this. We should never feel shy. We should never feel afraid of judgment.
Yeah.
And actually, if with somebody we are feeling afraid that they will misunderstand us, then they are not meant to be with us, most probably. Then we should, sooner or later it will fail or it will not be an effective partnership. So, no judgments for anyone, but we are not meant for each other in this moment. If we are afraid to share our heart with somebody, and we should, so firstly, we should just communicate to our co-founders, potential co-founders, hey, this is me, this is my inspiration. Now, please, I want to know what is you and what is your inspiration. Why are you doing this startup? Why do you want to be here? Then we find a common ground between us. And I feel that should even be written down on some day, on day one, that, hey, this is what Tapas wants, this is what Ayush wants. And then they have the shared context of the startup idea. And this is how we will run this startup. Okay. From there, we can even chart down how we will solve our problems when we have conflicts, because we have both on day one identified what drives us. And then second is what's our value system. What drives us includes our value system. So have that shared value system is clear on day one. So then we both approach any problem, not with a complaint driven mindset, but with a solution driven mindset. So there is one thing, that I may come to you and maybe you've done a mistake a few times. I start feeling bad inside about you. That Tapas always does this, he's careless and, it's a bad feeling inside me about you. That's a complaint. Versus I'm simply the detached and decoupled observer who observes that this pattern is repeating again and again. Now this decoupled observer wants a solution. So he approaches you, our co-founder, that, hey, I'm observing this is the issue. What is the solution for this? Can we work towards it? I think this approach really solves conflicts. Not having a bad feeling. Firstly, we have to feel good to address problems. If we are feeling bad, we will fight with each other.
That will stop you initially itself. Like sometimes it will be also turn out to be ego. Like why I should go about, and I don't feel good about it. Like I'll stay away from it. Someday some problem will solve. I mean, you cannot keep the problem forever to get solved automatically, right? You have to dive in and kind of solve.
This is another very good point you added, ego. We have to keep it in our list. See, all these are tools, no?
Right.
So when we are working with people in relationships, whether professional, personal, so all these are tools like keeping our ego in check, for example. Remember my original cause, remember his original cause, why we came together, what was our value system. Whenever there's a conflict, go back to the value system. That is something, by the way, a very experienced HR professional told me. She says, Ayush, HR is misunderstood. Our biggest job is to define three tenets of any startup or a company. And as founders, you have to define on day zero. For example, justice could be one tenet. Service could be one tenet. So every startup, right on day zero, should define three things that it exists for. And then from day zero, they should be followed in the company, because founder will not always be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, your team will be facing customers, working with each other. Correct? So if there's any decision to be made and they are not clear, they fall back to the three tenets. And it should be even written and documented, ideally. Okay? And given to the team. So we as startups, we don't do this because there's so much hustle, but we should invest. And that is one problem area actually we could work upon together also. But yeah, documenting this, sharing with the team is very important. So yeah, to answer in short, number one, the day zero when we meet, we share our value system and purpose, we align there. And also we determine if we have conflicts, how will we solve them on day zero? We talk about this. Then as we go forward, I think we've solved the big problem on day zero itself. So everything will be solved. And right, so it's written down, company's culture is there, everything is there. Yeah. So I think that's very important. And if we don't feel 100% certain alignment of frequency with somebody, we should not align. They can be very talented. They could be hackers, biggest experts of something. But in my experience, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, and be very, what is it, very clear about it from the day one. I mean, I always felt like it doesn't help to kind of hold it in you. Then you be very, very open and clear from the day one. Let your perspective flow in, and then you get others perspective also, there will be definitely some
Yes,
amount of synergy somewhere. If the synergy is not there, okay.
yes, yes, yes. And as founders, especially as founders, we are like the mentors and guardians
Yeah,
of this organization, right? This community that we make. We have to make sure our mental well-being is there. Like we are emotionally feeling wise good. We are healthy. When we go into a meeting room on a Google Meet, we don't hear a frustrated founder often. Once a year, there may be a big problem. Okay, it's all right. Kabhi kabhi it is needed also. Hopefully not, maybe someday, but it's a genuine need. And then even that anger is a fake anger. It's not, you're not burning with anger inside. You get it, right? Like a mother is angry with a child.
right.
It's that kind of an anger. And it's very fake anger. Generally, if the founder, the energy we bring into a meeting room, what kind of, we are the representative of the organization, right? So we have to take care of our mental well-being and we have to be well. And the smiling face, that positive energy, the solution driven mindset and empathy driven mindset, and always wanting to listen to other people, see the world from their view. These things are very important. So we have to grow ourselves as founder. It's a journey of personal growth
Yeah.
a founder
Got
has
it.
to go for.
And it's also
Uh,
you prepare the next generation, right? Through what you do. As you told about the example of you behave like the parents and to some extent the guardian. So
mhm.
people look up to you. And if your behavior and the syndromes in a way that people are taking it negatively, they will be a bad leader tomorrow and somebody else will be suffering down the line. So put that positive energy out so that you bring the leader for tomorrow who are equally positive, what you want to be or what you are, and that will make the things growing, further. So yeah.
Yes, yes. Because see, there is so much to be done in an organization.
Mm.
We have to be able to have exactly these leaders, right? And be very, smart in a way on how leadership and responsibility is distributed. And then they are doing things, that's the only way it can flourish.
Exactly.
Founder has to step back. Actually, as founders, our goal should be, how can I get to a 4-hour work week? Yeah.
Sure, someday going to achieve that. Cool, cool. It's amazing
Hmm.
discussion. So yeah, I think we are kind of close to 1 hour discussing. So before we close our discussion, and this is probably not the only time that I'm taking your time in future. We're going to meet often, even in the further podcast, other podcast as well. So one thing that you want to call out before we end is like nowadays we hear a lot about this mental health thing. I especially when I started my career, even like mid of my career, I never heard this thing called mental health. But in last decade or maybe last 8, 9, 10 years, it's something that this mental health phenomena is like quite high.
Hmm.
There could be various reasons, like probably the amount of exposure that we have on various different things that is causing some mental health, or probably our inability to focus on something so that we are not able to understand like when my mental health is going bad. Do you have any suggestion, especially to the younger generations, like who are coming up, who are getting into this work industry, maybe tomorrow will be getting married, having kids and everything? Is there any way to deal with this mental health issue? I mean, what is this problem about and how to deal with it?
My first suggestion to everybody would be that, whenever faced with a difficult situation in life, don't get distressed about it. Number one, whatever tools you have, whatever it takes for you to be fine with it, accept it right now. Then only you know how to deal with the situation. If we become anxious, we will be helpless. Anxious mind cannot do anything good. So in mental health, I'll say all mental health is about is not being anxious, is being in a good state of mind. So hence my first thing will be no matter what happens, all is well. Calm, deep breathe. Breath works great. Is one practical tool I'll give to everybody is 12 to 16 seconds of one round of breath in a every single round. Inhale, exhale.
Okay.
We typically breathe 4 seconds. Now you can all Google, everybody can Google about it. What's the difference in 4 seconds of breath versus 12 to 16 seconds? Number one, our body will live longer and healthier. Number two, our brain is more relaxed and quiet. And we don't get angry. We don't get upset. We are more focused and meditative and tranquil. So breathing, we should all breathe well. Most of our life anxiety problems, which I've seen, including myself, in my older version, is I was not breathing well, breathing through chest, half breath, and I would get angry very soon. That was my problem. Frustrated. I would get frustrated very soon. So that really changed a lot. I don't get easily frustrated anymore. Now, but and Tapas, today's time, this mental health word has come because the environment and culture in society has also changed a lot, right? And people are not so happy anymore. If we see, right, our lives are not so happy. When we didn't have so much money, we used to live in villages. I feel we were happier people
Everyone,
because we had what,
I'm saying everyone feels that way.
right?
Yeah, olden days were good.
And if we see, wherever money has gone, it's a very important thing because money helps us get things done without other people. We don't depend on people so much anymore. So I can live alone in a flat, order food and survive and code all day long. Correct? But I believe a human being feels very nourished when he's in good company around, where he gets love, care, affection, and there's a creativity sparkling between people, in physical environment and spaces, being close to nature also, even, those things, natural living, all these are really needed for us. This was there before, but not anymore. Relationships have gone. So hence mental issues are more. You look at Japan, Europe, suicides are highest in Europe. And if you go to anybody who's lived in Australia, yesterday, my cousin, she was telling me, she's in Australia since 12 years. She says, Ayush, I'm depressed again. I don't know why I'm living. What's my purpose? But in Australia, I don't find a single person with whom I can share. Everybody's so individualistic. So the richer we get, the more individualistic we are becoming. It doesn't have to be like this. Only if we knew ourselves more, our life purpose more, then money would not spoil us. It will help us actually make other people also happier. Money becomes a good tool. So yeah, mental health is, yeah, I think we all need well-being there because the GDP is increasing, right? So you need to, I think this whole thing of self-awareness and self-education is missing in our society. So if these young people, in when they come out of colleges, they could follow this from wherever. If they could know what are the values that drive them, what's their purpose, what will really fulfill them, then they can choose the path with more confidence, and they can also then go and acquire those tools which help them live more satisfied and happy. And actually, there's a beautiful thing that happened in India in last 14-15 years. There's this group which came out with this course called Universal Human Values in Education. It's now going in every AICT college in India, even in IITs, some of them. So it's a credit-based course, and it's also starting in schools now, where they talk about same thing, purpose of life, what am I as a human being, and so it's very good initiative that has come. So, and this is a course even I will be starting online session soon
Wow.
about these things. So yeah, I look forward to taking this to the world. People who missed it in college can go with it again.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice. I think it was really great, Ayush, and thank you very much for your time today. As I told, like I would like to connect to you again. We'll be talking more stuff. 1 hour is definitely not enough to kind of explore. I hope that you enjoyed talking to me, and a lot of people will be listening to you tomorrow. So if you can tell us like where to find you, like where people can reach out to you, how people can reach out to
People can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram. My ID is Ayush K Naam Se, literally
you.
Ayush K Naam Se. You can share all of that. So yeah, they can reach me through all of that, and I'm available on Instagram, LinkedIn. Yes, and I also am in Dharamshala, and I host people here, who like to come here. I've got a beautiful space. I can just show it sometime as well. So if anybody who's on this journey, right, filled with questions or creativity, running your own startup, building your MVP, plus want to have these discussions or meditations, you're welcome to come live with me here. I've got a very beautiful mind-opening space here.
Yeah, I mean,
So
for everyone's sake, I already got an invite last time when it's Ayush. Sometime definitely I'm going to make there. Want to spend some time, want to talk to you in person, a lot of stuff that goes on my mind. Yeah, hopefully sometime sooner.
I really enjoyed talking to you, Tapas. It was so wonderful. You can see on my face also. I'm happy.
Absolutely, same here. Stay well, sir,
Yes.
and we'll connect to you
Take
again
care.
soon. So, for everyone who
Yes.
is watching us talking, and listening to us. I hope that it was useful to you. And I'm sure like you will have questions. You can ask the questions in the comment section below. I'll make sure that I'll take it to Ayush and he can respond to you, or you can reach out to him directly, ask your questions. Thank you very much again for listening to us.
Thank you so much, Tapas. It was so nice. Bye bye.
Bye bye.